See if we can. You're going to get a little thing on your screen that says, hey, yes. And we'll go through that. We are now recording. It's very nice. So we're going to have a cool little talk about the third eye, opening up the third eye, going through some stuff like that. I honestly picked this subject because it keeps coming up, right? I want to know, how do you do that? How do you open up your third eye? What I think is really funny that it's coming from you guys, which your third eye is already open. But if we want to walk through the process, let's go ahead and kind of do that. So I'm going to throw out a question and you guys get to answer. This is always a Q&A kind of thing in class. So it's kind of fun. Whoever wants to answer can answer. But what is the third eye? Oh,
besides your pituitary gland?
I love it, right? Biological answer, it's inside your pituitary gland. Great, awesome. Who else? Who else has a definition of what is your third eye?
It's a chakra.
It's a chakra? Like it? I like it. No? All right. So I like that. It's in your pituitary gland, right? Or your pineal gland is what it is, right? So when you're looking at that kind of space, let's look at this in this way. Your third eye is a switch, if you will, a gate, right? This little gate opens up and allows you to move your consciousness into a higher state of frequency. In turn, it moves you into another world. Your consciousness becomes aware of another place, not just the one that you're experiencing today. How about that as a definition? What do you think? Sounds good? Sounds like a plan? That's a maybe? Sounds rough, right? I like it. Why do we want to open it? Give me your why. Why would you're attending this class, which means you're curious about it. You're trying to figure out, oh yeah, open up your third eye. I want to do that. But tell me why. What is the purpose?
To be more united with spirit and other planes of existence is what I think.
I like it. I like it. AJ, why? Give me a why. I know you got tortillas, but it's okay. You can click.
I think it's important to have it open so that there's a balance in your consciousness, because if you don't have that balance in play, things just won't work out.
I like it. Finding balance. Curious now. Now I've got to ask the other two, right? Tell me, Amy, what do you think?
For me, it's following my life purpose. I think that once it's open, I can follow that life path that I believe that I should be on. And so it'll help me to go down that path and figure out exactly what I need to be doing, how I should be helping the collective in a different way.
Beautiful, beautiful. How about you, Ms. Diana? What do you think?
I think it's something like, well, you just said it, right? Consciousness, to be more aware of not just all the material things, but of the different dualities that make a human. I guess it's related to what AJ said, like equilibrium, right? Like find that equilibrium between what makes us like material, but also ethereal.
I love it. So everybody has a good concept of why they would want to open up their third eye. And I'll tell you that the third eye, all it's doing is revealing a new vision of yourself. But it's not a vision that you're building or creating. You're revealing it. You're seeing yourself in the conscious form, right? And bringing in that awareness that it's more than what you're just seeing in front of your face, right? There's more out there. That's kind of how it works. It's to help us be fully aware, but just aware, right? We're open, but still just enough open to where it's not going to influence or change the way that the things we have to learn when we're in this perspective. We're just reaching in for information. That's what we're looking for. We're understanding that there's more out there and more of a connection, right? It's also a way for us to manifest or bring to us what we need. sometimes you're like, I want to manifest the energy of doing something. But if your third eye is closed, you won't be able to bring anything to you. You won't be able to receive anything. So the idea of opening up that third eye is to be able to bring that manifested thing that you would like to have, the want, to you, instead of you trying to go search for it, right? You're putting yourself in a state of just bringing it in, being aware that what you want to have already exists. It's there in existence. All you have to do is bring it to you. And the third eye is a great way of opening those things up. So when we're looking at this, there's a lot of things that happen when you're looking at the third eye and opening it up. These things are going to start happening to you that you need to understand, right? It's not about the way that you would do a meditation, right? Opening of their third eye is just making the space open to give you the awareness. It's not actually, I'm meditating and doing something, going somewhere else. So we're not going to be using our imagination to visualize anything. We're simply going to make yourself aware of the space. And that's how it's going to trigger it open, right? It's not the same way as when we meditate. I'm not going to make or force something to happen. So as we walk through this, because I'm going to walk you through a cool little exercise, it's going to be fun. Welcome, Gail. Welcome. I'm going to walk you through this little exercise, and we're going to do this together, kind of walking through the space. So there's things that you want to remember when you're activating your third eye. Number one, don't do this often. You can be consistent, but don't do it all the time. The idea is to maybe once every so often, you're like, oh, let me check in with that conscious space, right? It will cause a lot of headaches. You're going to get physical pain associated with consistently opening your third eye, right? We're not designed to be living only in the third eye frame. Remember, it's just to bring back something or reveal something that we might need in that situation. It's not to consistently live in there, right? So we don't want to open this third eye all of the time. So find yourself a consistent pattern. I kind of just check in every so often just to be like, it's there, right? And as we even talk about it, right, as we're sitting here talking about it, mine is already tingling because it's already kind of just open, right? It does what it does. Some people, most people, when they're born, are born with third eye open. As we get older, we begin to shut it down so that we can immerse ourselves in this life, in what's going on here, right? So checking in with it every so often is good, but don't be trying to do this 3 or 4 times a day, right? Don't be all crazy about it, right? We're just going to want to open it up a little bit and kind of get to know it. And then when you do open up each time, we're going to kind of like grow and add on to where you're experiencing these things, what you're experiencing, and allowing it just to happen, not forcing anything to happen, right? It's just going to happen. It's just one of those kind of things. Things to note a little bit when you're in there, what you're going to feel. You're going to feel a nice subtle vibration or a little tingling, right? Let's call it the tingles, right? The little tingles, right? The little tingles are going to happen like right in between your forehead, kind of like in this little space, right? You're going to become a little bit more aware of it. And you're going to know, oh, there's really little weird tingling sensation. If you concentrate and focus on it way too much, you're going to give yourself a headache. It's just going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, that's just too much, right? You'll give yourself a headache when it's just too much. So you want to find the nice little balance of being able to just feel the little tingles. As we go through this, really, it's just a simple practice. That's all we're going to do. Something might happen, something might not happen because you're not necessarily in the best space to do this, right? The idea is that when you practice on your own, you find a nice comfortable space where you're not going to be interrupted, where everything is there. If you want to do this with another person, let's say you're in the same room and you're like, let's open up our third eye together, let's do this. Don't touch each other so that we don't inadvertently exchange energy, right? So try to be on different sides of the room or with enough space where you're not touching. And when you're there, and if you've got your eyes closed, all that good stuff, and it becomes too intense, the headache begins or something is happening, just open your eyes, do some breath. It'll start to simmer down a little bit, right? If in all you do get the headache, which some people do, I'm going to pull this out of my pocket because it's vibrating my butt. Okay, so when we're going in there, and you're getting the headache and it really just, even with your eyes open, it just kind of won't go away, touch and play. Push on the point of pain, hold on to it, right? Let it soothe and go through your forehead, and then slowly release the pressure, and the headache will start to go away. Okay. Push and play system, push and play system. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. It's really nice. All right. So remember, there is no imagination required, right? There is no visualization required in the practice I'm about to show you, right? It's a very simple, easy practice. We're not going to do anything like that. There's no bringing in anything. No. All we're going to do is just open the door. Gentle taps. That's all we're doing, right? Gentle taps on the third eye. So before we start a little bit. I want you to kind of walk you through a really great breathing process, right? We're going to connect the breath with the opening of the vibration of the third eye. So this is going to be great. So initially, I want you guys to get used to breathing in through your nose. Just breathe in, right? Breathe out. Right in through your nose and out. Calming this body down, right? When you're breathing in, I want you to be aware of the sound you're making. Right, that nice little rough sound. Those of you who do yoga understand this sound, right? It's the sound of your just air coming in your nose and coming back down. Listening to the sound, it's always nice and good. So as we're breathing in again, breathing in, breathing back out, right? Naturally, when you feel comfortable, I just want you to shut your eyes. Listening to your breath as it's coming in. Becoming aware of your body stilling. The breath coming in. As you move, you're going to feel the air passing through your throat. In and out. Nice deep breaths. On your next inhale, I just want you to see and feel your eyebrows in your mind's eye. Where's your third eye? Understanding you're connecting your breath to that space. All of you need to take your right palm and just put your hand right over your third eye. Palm right over your third eye. Don't touch, just hover right over it. Don't touch. Heat that palm right onto your third eye. No touching, just bring in that warmth. Connect your breath to the warmth. Be aware of the sound. Moving that little third eye, beginning to shimmer. The tingles that emerge. Once you feel that tingling sensation connected to your breath, inhale causes a tingle. Exhale causes a different tingle. Nice low vibration. When you feel the tingle and it's there, it's nice and subtle. Drop your hand away, but keep your eyes closed and keep focused on that tingling part of your forehead. As soon as you feel a tingle, just move your hand away. Connecting your breath to that vibration. Look for some colors in your mind's eye. Can you see lightning? Can you see striations of color? Bringing in your throat. Connect the breathing to the tingling sensation. Seeing the colors. And connect. When you're ready and at your own pace, just open your eyes. The sensation should still be there. It's not going to go away. That nice little tingling part of yourself that's just kind of on, right? There's nothing to it. But in this time is when you're going to be able to feel and experience something a little different inside of you. Just the breathing should have given you something different. And then all of a sudden there was something else that was a little bit like, what is that? I don't know, right? The sensation that you're feeling is your third eye opening up and becoming just aware, right? It'll last for a little bit, right? You'll have that little tingling sensation. Somebody might even say the word third eye, and all of a sudden you feel it again, right? It happens. It's when you forget about the sensation, when you're trying to use your intuition, that's when you should feel prompted to do it again. This was a very simple practice. The idea is to connecting the breath with the vibration of your third eye, allow it to happen, fall into it, activate it, and use that, right? It's nothing out of the ordinary, but practice is still needed. As you move forward and you activate your third eye in another session or another time, it's going to be more intense. The vibration will be a little different. It might even activate when you are meditating. All of a sudden, you're getting a different sensation in your body as the meditation goes through and your third eye starts moving to reveal you something that's part of yourself. The idea is the consciousness of it. It's you being aware that there's more. That's all the third eye does, right? There's more out there. You're connected to more. It opens up that intuition so that you're using it on a regular basis and trusting not only what you're seeing and experiencing in this physical plane, but what you're seeing and experiencing in the non-physical space as well, right? Opening more about you. Questions and thoughts. Questions and thoughts. Oh.
I can feel it in my eyebrows. It's pretty cool.
It's a weird little feeling. I know I like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Like I keep blinking my eyes to just kind of, yeah.
Do I need to get rid of it? Right?
It's a different sensation, that's for sure.
A different sensation. There are multiple things out there, multiple practices in opening your third eye. You can do something like third eye activation music or, tones in the space. They sell pineal gland activators, right? To just kind of open up the space. In this, I purposely showed you this practice because it is very simple and you can do it pretty much anywhere. There's nothing crazy about it, right? You can just lay down and do it. You can sit down and do it, right? Always having that conscious effort of it and kind of sitting in it and allowing yourself to kind of move into the space. Don't be surprised if you see it like I just saw one, like a floaty go by, right? You're like, what is this shiny little object? It's very common to see striations of color or like I call it like lightning, or it looks like kind of lightning bugs when you're in there, especially if you do this in a dark setting, right? All of a sudden you're like, why am I seeing all these little shimmers go by in your vision, right? It's just telling you, hey, I'm open, everything's okay, right? Nothing to fear. You're just more consciously aware of certain things. Take note of what you feel every time you open it, right? Every time you open your third eye, is there something different that happens? Is there a movement? Is there a change? Is there something that's there? Do you become more aware of certain things? Repeating patterns, right? I love repeating patterns. They tell you a lot about yourself, right? Repeating patterns and what you're experiencing and what you're feeling is something that's important to take note of so that you know, oh, I'm starting to bring this into my awareness. Why wasn't I aware of it before? Right? You're going to notice strange things. Like we just literally opened up poor Kay's third eye. She's about to go into a concert setting.
I was thinking about that. I'm like,
This is going to be fun.
it'll be interesting tonight.
Let me know how that goes. All right. I'd be curious, right? So be consciously, we've opened it up today and we're going to just kind of let it rest and do its thing. Be conscious about what are you experiencing now that it's open? What's different about tonight when you go home and you do something? Or if you do a meditation before you go to bed, is it going to reveal something else? Or maybe your dreams will change a little bit, right? It's always going to bring in some kind of conscious awareness of what you need to either work on, be aware of, or what's deep inside of you that maybe you didn't know about yourself before, right? Which helps you in turn speak to that spiritual space, speak to that metaphysical plane, address an entity if it has to happen, right? That's kind of the purpose of opening up, is understanding how to connect. And maybe you'll actually have some really cool connections conversationally with others. Talk to somebody you're always having miscommunications about today, if you can. See if you actually understand each other today. Seeing each other in a different way, right? So that means I got to talk to my husband. Have a conversation with him, right? Or a 4-year-old that's running around in my house and trying to understand how that works, Questions on the approach? Questions on what you thought a third eye activation was? Really? Nothing?
I had some really interesting imagery going through my mind when it was activating. So that was interesting. That was fun. I keep getting in meditation too, these images that are, you know how when you're looking at either Mayan or some type of indigenous Mexico artwork, and it's very like, the drawings have certain like elements that all look the same. It's kind of the same images that I see, that I've been seeing lately, but it really came on strong and fast with this. So I don't know what that means, but I'll look into it.
I love it. I love it. Who else? Who else?
Well, I saw a tunnel. It was almost like a tunnel, but it was in the sky and it was blue, mostly white, but it almost looked like, yeah, pretty much like a tunnel kind of swirling. And then it turned yellow. It was nice and calm.
like
It wasn't
calm.
anything frightening or anything. It was just really, really nice.
Me gusta. Me gusta, a tunnel. Interesting. How about you, Gail? This is something you do every day. What's going on? You are the everyday third eye opener.
Yeah, but I just, excuse me, decided to join this class because I wanted to take it back to the level that
Basics.
basics.
Yeah.
And become a little bit more sharper in my awareness. So for me, it was like a click. It's a like the key is in the lock. The lock is unlocked. You know, the key, the lock, turn it, click. That's what that sensation was like. It was like that click. At the same time, my crown is going nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at this point where I'm just like, okay, do we shut it down? Shut it down. This is intense. This is getting intense. This is getting intense. Because I'm at this space right now where I don't want it to be as full as it is. You know how I am, Sarah.
I
So,
know.
but I'm allowing it to do its thing so that I can adjust and be open again. So I think that's why I was being pushed to do this class. Allow myself to do this again and stop closing everything up.
Dang it,
So,
spiritual world. Dang it.
damn it, damn it, I did it again. So that's my observation right now, is that yes, it's all opening up. It's one of those, and I just got this aha, Sarah, yay, kind of thing. Yeah, you're getting
Well,
big
I'm
kudos.
glad it's an aha and not a like, dang it.
No, it's
Why did I
them.
do this?
No, it's them going, yes, we got her. Because they know what I've been doing.
And now you got to let it run its course, which is great.
Yes. It's like I'm stuck in this space, and I'm just sitting here just
Now you got to let it run its course. It is now open.
yeah, underneath my breath, I'm really going, damn it, I didn't want to do that. So that's where I'm at right now. It's in my everything's opening, everything's shifting. There was a little bit when at the very beginning, I'm going, aha, I remember that. Because for me, it was more or less, I learned not to force it open. And I didn't get the headaches. I got headache here, meaning that everything started from here. And it was literally like you're trying to force something and it's painful. And so I got a tiny little bit of that, but I gathered after all my talk to you, yes, that was the fear of, damn it, I didn't want to open this shit up. And here I am doing it. So
I love
you
it.
guys are witnessing Gail today.
Yes, Gil is in full motion.
Yes.
So as it's open and as you begin to open it in other settings and other ways, right? Like, so we opened it today and maybe we let it run its course, we let it do its thing, and then you decide, I want to do this again, do a little bit more of an opening. Each time that you're going in there, I want you to be aware of things that might happen to your physical body, the things that are going to happen, right? Tingling happens quite a bit, not just in your third eye. Right now, it's tingling only in your third eye. But if you sit in it for just a little bit and you really kind of move this in, because the idea of doing this is it's almost like a meditation, giving yourself the time for it to open, live in that space, connect your breath, and continue to do that until you're ready to just open your eyes and kind of just keep going, right? So as you're doing that, sometimes other parts of your body begin to tingle out a little bit, right? Being aware energetically that you're not by yourself. All right. You're not alone in the room, right? You think you are, you're not alone in the room, but allowing these little tingles to kind of just work. Your etheric layer of your aura is activated when you turn on that third eye, which means you have more awareness of the energy in the space around you. So you might be able to, the tingling you might feel could be something that's just you, or that there is something else, someone else that's kind of in your awareness that's probably been there for a bit and you just didn't recognize that they were there or didn't hear that they were there, right? So don't be shocked about this force, this life force that you have in your etheric body will start to reveal things that are around you all of the time, right? And this is normal, a natural, normal feeling, right? This is also going to be a time where things will get, yeah, go ahead.
What about heat?
What about what?
Heat.
Yeah, heat, tingles, some kind of sensations in your body. The warmth will move around too. So what might be warmth in one part of your body one time may not be the same in the next time. It doesn't present itself the same way each time. So be aware of that too. Yes, heat. Thank you for pointing that out. Sometimes things will come up. You're opening up your third eye. All of a sudden there's like a strange emotion, a thought, or maybe like even like a memory or something that you're like, why did I just think of, like, why did that just come up? Right? Something that maybe is in your awareness that maybe you've been working on, like a block. And it's like revealing almost a path for yourself, right? Understanding not to tamper it back down, right? Because we tend to move ourselves out of that space. Remember, you're just allowing it to happen. You're just an observer. You're not participating with it or in any way, shape, or form. But if an emotion comes up in you that you're like, oh, no, I don't want to remember that, right? I don't want to do, right? It's understanding that it's coming into your awareness because you need to do something with it, right? most of the time it's just kind of like, and I don't need that anymore. Right? If it's something that was like a trigger, or was it something that's coming up because it's telling you, it's that something you really, it's a question. Do you still need this? And telling your body, telling your etheric body, oh, we don't need that anymore. And letting it just kind of go. Right? This will happen. The more you become aware, the more you're going to start working through some of the things that have blocked you from fully using all of your gifts, right? The vibration in your forehead will intensify each time you open up your third eye. Again, if it's too intense and your eyes are closed, open your eyes. If it's still intense, then push and play system, push on the point and allow it to dissipate on its own. Slowly release the space. But it is normal that every time it's going to increase. It's going to increase. Heat is normal. Pressure, also normal. Again, controlling the headaches, push on the point of pain. There are other causes of headaches that you want to be aware of. If some of you, when you work in the metaphysical space, let's say you are a reader, or you are a psychic, or you are a healer, there are points in your body that tell you when it's time for you to do the work, right? Sometimes, as healers, the inside of the palms heat, right? It tells you, oh, somebody is in need of healing. But you're laying there by yourself, right? Activating your third eye and your palms are heating. Guess who needs the healing? Right? You need the healing, right? Allow your hands to naturally fall in the parts of the body that need it. Just put them wherever they need and give yourself that love, right? If it's something that happens when it's like, you're like, oh, something's in the room or something is there, bring your awareness to say, I know something's there, but right now this is what I'm doing. Just acknowledge and don't interact, right? Acknowledge. Oh, I know you're there. We'll have a different discussion at a later time. Remember boundaries. It has to happen when you're ready to happen, not when it wants to, right? But being aware of, oh, there's something new there I didn't realize was there. I need to have that conversation, right? Later. Making note of those things, right? Dizziness, when you get up today, because all you guys are sitting down, except for AJ, I don't know if he's sitting down or not, right? You can't see him. He was in the kitchen earlier, so if he's sitting.
Yeah.
Are you sitting?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So I cleaned myself off. I'm logging on.
Okay. He dusted all the flour off. It's good. With the dizziness, you want to be able to just, before you stand up, right, allow yourself to kind of balance in there and then stand, right? If you're still really dizzy, ground yourself on something, hold on to something, just move and just let it pass. I promise you it's going to. It'll pass and it won't do it again. Sounds, that happens. You might be opening up your third eye, sitting there in that moment, and then you hear sound, music, a voice. Again, aware of it. I'm aware. I know Gail is laughing because this is happening to her now. I'm aware of it. I know it's there, but right now we're just moving into the awareness, right? It's moving the sound. That's telling you there's something that you need to hear, something that we need to work on, right? Something that we need to look. Every time you open up this field, you're going to open up and start working on your own ability, right? It's going to reveal more and more of what you can do, more and more of what you're connected to, right? And more of you, more awareness of yourself. So this is how we improve our development. This is how we improve our ability. We remove blocks. The third eye is going to give you a way to have that in awareness, reveal the block, make you aware of it so that you can do something about it. What do we want to do with this? We need to fix this. This is a way to learn and kind of move forward. So be aware of the what we're experiencing. Experience it. Don't ruin the experience, right? Just be in there. Don't overthink it. Just jot it down, see what happened. And then if the recurring theme keeps going on, right, guess who needs to work on that, right? You'll need to work on it. If it's something that you don't understand how to remove by yourself or block by yourself, reach out, right? There's a lot of others that can help you. Even I can help you be able to remove some of these blocks, talk you through it, and then it's going to elevate how you open up your third eye later, right? Doing a little bit different. Thoughts so far? What happens if you don't feel the tingles? Kay had a question. What's your thought?
I did. I was wondering, so obviously, going out, like I'm going in a little while to be with a big group of people, and I always have to put my little protections in place. But clearly when you do this, you should, even if you're going to be at home and around your usual family, you should be a little more cautious or a little more protected, right?
A little bit more cautious at the beginning and being able to, shield yourself, right, from the things that are going on.
Right.
You're going to be a little bit vulnerable. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the shut off mode here in a minute. Okay. We're not going to let you just leave like this, right? I'm leaving it open now because I want you guys to hear in your awareness what's going on here, right? And then we're going to walk through the shutdown space. So the idea is to be able to, yes, when you're opening up your third eye, you need to be prepared to put in there. I purposely open up my third eye before I go out on an investigation and do it on purpose, right? I need to see what the awareness is, or there's a block for me in that moment, right? To be aware of it and acknowledge it, that it might be something that's going to impede me being able to properly go in and look at something or read something or do something in the space that I'm investigating. I only do it in that space, right? I don't necessarily do that when I'm reading people. I don't sit there and be like, oh, let me open up my third eye every day because I read almost every day. So I'm not to do that. Right? Not to do that. None of that. But if, investigations are few far between, I'll do that. You can have a way for yourself, like maybe you only activate your third eye before you go to church, right? You open up your third eye before you do something very specific in your practice that you're going to need that extra knowledge with. Right? Let's say you're learning something very difficult. You're doing some form of thing for the very, very first time, and you want to be able to bring it into your awareness. You can open it up in that point to assist you in bringing in the information and revealing anything that might block you from learning. Okay. Questions and comments? Oh, we might get a little AJ picture in here. We got his little picture now. Got a little picture now. Tuning into yourself is really important to make sure that when you do have that third eye activated, especially within the first 3 days, if you don't go through the shutdown mode, right, you want to leave it up a little bit. Be aware of what's revealing itself to you, even around others. When you're around others, you get to pick up their energy all of the time. And unfortunately for you, you're going to end up picking up the energy of everything that's around you during this time. Right? So be aware of that, right? You can walk through the shutdown process when you know, hey, we're going to get into larger crowds. Maybe I shouldn't have opened it up right now, right? Or maybe I want to open it up and then throw myself into a crowd, see what happens, right? Just know you can still walk yourself. AJ's like, absolutely not. That's not a thing. Absolutely not, right? It's fun. Do it every now and then, right? But walking yourself through that shutdown practice, still being in your awareness, you're still going to be aware. Even though you're shutting it down, you're just kind of like masking the eye. You're not really closing it off. You're just saying, oh, I don't want to have that much awareness right now, right? Not right now, because it actually just begins to dissipate on its own. So what you're just doing is kind of masking it a little bit, going, I'm still aware fully, just not aware of, like, I don't want everything coming in, right? That's kind of what you're going to do when we walk you through this step, but it's still going to be on. No shutting down. Find out how it goes for you, seeing for yourself. Other thoughts, comments, good jokes? No?
No, but I did see the movie Jungle Cruise on Disney, and it had a lot of dad jokes. Have you seen it?
Yes, it did. That was like the best for me. They were terrible jokes too.
Yes.
What is that? Just streaked across.
son.
Okay.
Go on.
I was not expecting that. That was beautiful. Yes, I've seen that movie. I absolutely love the fact that it's got the cool little dad jokes in there, right? There's other movies that sometimes have little trinkets of like weird dad jokes, and I just think it's hilarious. And my boy is just like, my mom, right? She's crazy. She likes that. No questions, no comments, no good jokes. Come on. Fears. Give me some fears. Give me some thoughts about opening your third eye.
When you were doing this, I thought about something, possibly not for myself, but fear that you're not doing it, that you're not able to consistently do it, or fear of, she talks about that I'm supposed to tingle, but I think I tingle, but I'm not sure that I'm tingling.
What if you don't
So,
get the tingles?
yes, I don't
What if
get
the tingles aren't there, right?
Yes.
What if it's supposed to be tingling, but the tingles aren't there?
Yes,
The funny thing about opening your third eye is it's not going to do it the same way each time, right? You might get the little bit of the tingles, and then you might do it so often you don't even notice it, right? Don't even notice that the tingles are there, right? Look around your body. Where are the tingles actually happening, right? There's awareness in everything, and sometimes it's trying to draw you into a different space. So find the spot. You don't necessarily always have to feel the little tingles or the pressure in your forehead, right? That's not going to happen. Sometimes you just become more alert and aware, right? You don't necessarily need to feel the tingles, but check out the rest of your body. What else is telling you? Pay attention. Listen to the sounds, but keep in that space. Even if you think you're not doing anything, you are. Don't be afraid. None of you guys' third eyes is not going open. Now, what happens? Have you ever come across somebody who didn't have a third eye open? Has anybody ever come across that? What is that like, Gail? Tell me what it's like when you meet somebody who doesn't have an open third eye.
for me, it's like they're not there. It's deep space, like Deep Space Nine. That's my little happy joy moment. You know, I have to put in Star Trek or something.
Star Trek or something. Yeah, gotcha.
Deep Space Nine kind of situation. It's avoidance. That's what I saw with the person. There's just total avoidance. There's just, I'm not doing this. This is not happening. Evolutionary. Okay, so this might go take it a little bit further. Evolutionary wise, not as sophisticated, not as developed. That's a good word. Not as developed. That's my thing on it. That's my take on it. It's also that I decided to move to the hills and get the fuck away.
Right.
That was one of those. It was like, no, you go your way, I go my way.
That's an interesting observation. Amy, what do you think?
So I had a question when Gail was talking, that how do you know that their third eye isn't open? What, I mean, I can guess, but I don't know if I'm correct in that assumption.
It all comes back to how you feel about it. And then I want you to look at their behavior. People who walk around with their third eye closed tend to be extremely self-centered and disconnected. They don't understand others, or they don't have a space or a sense of anything else around them. No, it's just, there's no connection there, right? They just do things and then you're like, hey, hello, like I'm standing here or I'm doing that, right? They just have no sense whatsoever that there's anything else connected to them at all, that they have an impact on anything. Their behavior shows that way. the funny thing about it is exactly how Gail explained it. She explained it from her perspective, like, how do I feel when I see that person? Which is, there's just nothing there. You're simply looking at them like they're just not connected, completely unaware of any kind of connection to anything, right? Except internal.
And I think I have somebody in mind of who I thought of. I do have somebody in mind who I thought of. What is an example of that? And you described it to a T, how that person is.
The other person is when you have somebody who has our ability and their third eye is closed. They immediately go, I can't do what you do. I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can do that. But yet, when they're in certain situations, their intuition drives them. They do exactly what their intuition says, even though they are not aware of the fact that they can do this. So they're connected, but disconnected from self, disconnected from understanding that they can do this, right? That could be a purposeful thing. It could have been something that they themselves put into play because of fear or of a trauma or an emotional situation, right? Where they just said, oh no, I don't, that's the thing. I don't want to do that, right? Gail's pointing to herself because she did that to herself too. She did that to herself. We've created these things when before you became conscious of being able to do this, what you're doing right now, you had a connection, but it wasn't a full connection. You knew you had intuition, but yet you still didn't trust what you were receiving, right? What you were getting. And so it was one of those things that you still had your third eye kind of half shut. Not that it was not open. It was just not open all the way through. The awareness was there, but it wasn't in the place that it needed to be sometimes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so because I know Kay is going to be leaving, before she leaves, let's walk through the tone down process since she's going into a concert. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to leave her like that, but no, she's probably going to be upset about it. We won't do that to her. Let's not do that to her right now. So walking through the space, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we're doing, except we're going to shut it down as the breath begins to calm, right? So understanding that your third eye is there, I want you to feel where those little tingles are happening in your forehead and just become aware of that it's there, right? Passing your palm of your hand up over it to just acknowledge that it's there. I want you to retreat the heat from your third eye into your palm and out the back of your hand, kind of like letting the hot air or the hot gas or the hot steam out, right? When you're doing this, I want you to just go ahead and begin to breathing into your nose and out. And with each exhale, you're pushing away some of that heat, right? Coming in, kind of downing down some of that tingle that you have in your forehead, just kind of moving it away. All we're doing is just silencing it down so it's not as open. So you're just breathing in, and on the exhale again, you're pushing away some of that energy, feeling the tingles kind of die down just a little bit, right? It's still there. You can still kind of feel it, but it's not as strong as it was when you started. It's just dying down. Every exhale out, it dies down just a little bit. Every inhale in, your body begins to calm. Exhaling out just begins to push some of that feeling away. As you begin to remove the palm of your hand from your face and just kind of move it down with the palm in your lap and just keep breathing in, exhaling it down in temperature. Vibration is coming a little lower. Now it's lower in your chest as you're exhaling out. And as you breathe in, the energy is coming down. It's moving into your chest, kind of settling as the tingling begins to fade just a little bit away and a little bit away with each exhale. When you're in a comfortable space where it still kind of tingles, but you're not really aware of it, just breathe it out and then just open your eyes when you're ready. The sensation will end up just dying down and going away on its own. When you're ready, there we go. There we go. Coming back. Enjoying the concert. Enjoying the concert, Kay, without having all the little extras, okay? Bring in your rings when you go. Don't forget. Bye. Have a wonderful time. Other questions, other comments, other thoughts? No?
Question.
Yes.
So we talked about not suppressing it. Are there things that we do to block it? A block that prevents it? You talked about like traumas. Some people might experience a trauma to ignore what is already open or ignore what's already there. But are there things that we can do to that will block it, or that other people can do to us that will block it?
Two different questions. Yes, got it. For yourself, you can create a block in almost anything that you can do energetically, right? Understanding why you produce that block is important, right? In order to get it undone. But if you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, I produced that block, maybe I just didn't want to have that connection with something, right? Somebody hurt your feelings, somebody did something in that fashion. Definitely, most definitely, you can block out that third eye. But again, it starts to reveal itself in the way that you behave. You begin to disconnect from a lot of things. You begin to move in that space. And until you understand that you need to connect again and that you need to open it again, you're going to suffer quite a bit. And so will the
Yeah, I
people
was
around
thinking
you.
like, what if I focus on like the crown chakra or the throat chakra more than the
Nope.
third eye chakra?
You need your balance. Think about your chakra system. Your chakra system has to run in the same balance all the way through,
Yeah.
right? If one is moving faster than another, it's going to knock off the balance of all the others, right? If one is running too slow, the others begin to overcompensate and you're still knocking yourself out of balance. Balance is key. You want to be balanced all the way through. Typically, if you produced a block, let's say you did produce a block in your third eye, then you're going to get a block in your crown because the universal understanding won't come in because you can't connect. And then you're going to start shutting off your throat because now you can't express things. And then you're going to shut off your heart because now you don't need that connection. Now you're in full on, I'm just being.
Block.
And
Yeah.
then it starts to continue to block all the way down, right? You cannot be out of balance for too long or you will suffer a physical, emotional ramification of that. It'll happen. And you see this in people. There's people that live disconnected all the time and they, run with different kinds of aches and pains and ailments and weird things and mental things and depressions and things like that. And this comes from various blocks that they've created throughout their space. But a third eye block is always about connection. They just can't connect to anything. Animals, pets, movement, earth, they just seem to not have a good rhythm of what's going on or seeing the big picture. I love how he's just like watching. Yeah.
I see a 4-year-old walking by,
Yeah.
going into a room.
The ghost of the child, right? My grandson's in there, but I love how he's like sneaking in and looking. But since I'm not looking at him, hey, close the door. What you doing? What you doing? Can you close this door here, please? Sure. Thank you. Just say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hello.
Just like, okay. Love you. The ghost of my grandson. The door still, he didn't close it. It's fine. It is
I
what-
have a comment from experience.
Yeah.
please. In regards to AJ's
question.
question. When you get to a point, AJ, where you decide that you want to close off, say for example, your third eye, and it's done out of some type of wound, that from the wound, doesn't matter where it originates from. The absolute is that the feeling, and not necessarily, I shouldn't say you, so please don't take this you as being personal, but the absolute of it is that you will miss something And it will be such a miss for you that it starts to create different responses, and not even responses, I say reactions within the body. And you will not know where it's coming from, because it is so quick, so sharp, and it happens so fast. That's just because of at the level where you're at, it will be immediate. So it behooves you to be in touch with Sarah and in touch with yourself to know exactly why you would bring up that question and where it's coming from. Okay, at any point, because there's something there that is triggering that question in you.
Oh
You
yeah.
need to ask it.
What triggered the question, somebody rubbed my head, my shaved head, and I felt either something left me or their energy was on me. It was uninvited. It was my boss. My boss, for whatever reason, thought it was a cool idea to, hey, AJ. And I felt it. It's an uncomfortable thing for me to touch anybody anyway. Fist bumping is like the extent of of how I feel comfortable with other people. But when that happened, I felt her energy and some of my energy almost leave. And I thought, okay, so how does that translate with the chakra system, with the eye, the throat, the heart?
What did the sense of touch elicit? What was the emotion?
Oh, get away. It was an immediate get away. You don't belong here.
So you weren't creating a block and she wasn't really stealing anything. You were just electrically charged going, no.
Yeah.
And you used your own energy, because when you said it felt like me and her, right? Like it felt like I did that. It was your own energy pushing away hers.
Yeah.
You didn't want it to linger. You were like, no, moving the space, right? So you felt your own reaction to that touch. And you wanted to remove everything, the sensation of it, all of it needed to go all at
Yeah.
once. It
But
was
suppose
just
she would have touched my forehead, would that have a different response?
no, it wouldn't have, because this was something that came from inside, like it welled in from you.
Hmm.
Your immediate reaction was safety, right? That was just immediate. It was just an immediate wash.
Mhm.
That just tells me there's something about that particular person that is not right.
Mhm.
The kind of energy they bring to the table, something is not quite what it needs to be or what it should be. And your intuition is telling you you need to be safe and they cannot come anywhere near you. Yeah, totally different. No blocks. No blocks.
What happens when that person is a family member?
Well, you can't control that, right? Can't control that. Whatever they're doing, whatever energy they're bringing in, you just don't mesh with it. And that's okay. It's okay to be like, your energy, whatever it is that you're bringing with you, I don't like. I immediately don't like. Now, the question would be like, what is it? Right? What is it about? Like, I would be more curious as to like, what is it about this person that I just don't like them coming near me? What is happening here? And I would be more prompted to kind of like watch their energy and see what's going on. Because curiosity would be like, I don't come across a lot of people that I wall off that way, that I just go, no, right? So there's got to be something about it. There's something there. So I would examine more, what's the sensation? Why do you feel that way? Observe them. Is there something on them that shouldn't be? Right? Does their behavior match what you're getting in their energy? It could be an attachment, right? Or do they truly behave in a certain way that they generate this kind of energy that you're like, I don't vibrate there. I don't like it. Right? So I would encourage you to explore why did that happen? Explore the why. What did it trigger in your body? That's always fun too. What was the trigger? Have you experienced that sensation before? Where? With who? Right? There's got to be something. It's got to be something. Trust your intuition when it tells you to do that. And the funny thing is your body immediately did it. So that's kind of fun. You're like, no. So that means you are meditating. You are bathing in light. I'm so proud of you that you responded that way. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. Other questions, other thoughts on your third eye? I will write this up for only all of you. So let me make sure I remember who it was. It's not like there was a lot of people on, so we'll just say that. I will write this up. I'll pass this on to you so that you know how to do the practice. Hopefully this recording will be able to go up and out on our Wix page. You'll be able to see it. That'll be kind of fun. And if you have any issues when you open your third eye and you kind of get stuck, please come to me. Don't try to figure it out by yourself. Questions? Comments? Good dad jokes. Come on, guys. Come on. Not a one. Don't make me take the book out. Come on. Really? Jesus. Take the book. Reach in for the book. Reaching in for the book. Right? This will be a thing. I love it. No, let's go up here. Why do scuba divers fall backwards into the water? No guesses? Because if they fall forward, they'd fall into the boat. All right. You guys have
was great.
I love that. Amy loved that. That was great. All right.
My dad used to tell the most terrible jokes, and it just reminds me of him. And he would laugh so hard at the
I do the same thing. I think it's great.
Yes, that it was just hilarious. And so, yeah.
I love it. I love it. You guys stay out of trouble. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for coming out to the class. We'll have another one. Don't forget there's a group speaker next weekend. It's going to be really great learning about some mudras. All right. So we'll talk soon. Please stay out of trouble.